So many people are reaching out and they're asking, what are the tactical strategies that you've used to grow your real estate business? And I will tell you that in my up and coming stages right now that I'm in currently, scaling and growing my business now more so than ever, I'm gonna tell you something that may be a little bit unsoothing for you at whatever stage of business that you may be in, but it may be a message that you really need to hear now more than ever. So make sure you stick around. Hey guys, Logan L. Williamson here. I help real estate agents grow and scale their business from all over the world the modern way. If you don't know my story, in my first 4 years in the business, I did 4 deals. And in my 5th year in the business, I finally figured out a couple very strategic things that have allowed me to absolutely blow my business up. I would like to help you with that. I am helping agents from all over the world leverage the internet to grow their business, and I'd like to help you do the same. If you would like to get on my calendar, you can go to wolfpackagent.com. You can discuss anything that I can offer you as far as coaching, any training or strategies, and also what it may be like to join my particular mastermind group at EXP, which happens to be the fastest growing in company history. And that's for a very specific couple of reasons. It's because of the support and the culture that we have within the group. If you'd like to talk about that, again, wolfpackagent.com, and I'll chat with you soon. We've got a lot to cover in this video, so let's dive right in. Guys and gals, this video is not going to be 2.5 hours long because it's a pretty simple message, but it's something that you really need to hear. And it's honestly it's not even a strategy. It's something that is basic. It is the fundamentals of business, and certainly in a real estate business, that really did not resonate with me until I got into what is my early 30s. And after I'd been in this business for years, it started to really click. And that has to do with a lot of mentorship. It has to do with a lot of people that I've spoken to who have seen success inside of the industry. But what I want you to really take away from this video, like the boom, the aha moment, is that boredom creates empires. Boredom creates empires. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that there are so many different flash in the pan strategies inside of business for lead generation. I've talked about this in previous videos. You can go back, you can watch my videos when I'm discussing lead generation and strategy and different things along those lines. But let's assume that you are getting new people inside of your business every single day to talk to. If you have a couple lead generation strategies that are actually working for you. I'm telling you right now, once you have had enough conversations on the front end with enough leads that have reached out to you, once you have door knocked enough, or you've cold called enough, or you've hosted enough open houses, you're always going to think in the back of your mind that there's some sort of better strategy out there. There is some form of leverage that you can create that must be better than what you're doing because you're bored out of your mind. Now, you have to try to put yourself in the mentality of understanding again that boredom creates empires. If you look inside, if you look under the hood of any multi-decamillionaire's business, what typically you are going to find is at the very bottom stages, the fundamentals of their business when it comes to how they're generating leads, how they are fielding those leads, and what they're doing to organize those leads, retarget, remarket to those leads, and ultimately move them down the funnel from a cold lead to a hot lead, into a contract or a client to an escrow, and then for referral and repeat business. There's really not a whole lot that is sexy about the process once you've done it hundreds of times. It's the same mundane process over and over and over again. Now, one of the things that Mike Tyson said, and one of the things that probably a lot of people out there in the world have said that I'm not referencing right now, just because Mike Tyson is the one that comes to mind first, is that the people who learn to do the boring things when it comes to work, when it comes to training, when it comes to day in, day out grind of what you're doing, the same monotonous tasks. The ones who can do it with passion, the ones that can do it with poise, the ones that can do it with enthusiasm and excitement over and over and over again are the ones that are ultimately going to win in business. Now, I'll give you a couple examples because there are top producers in this business that know that it's a contact sport. I was a part of a top producing team in Northern California at an earlier stage of my career. And I'll tell you, the one thing that the team leader always did, she completely understood that the nature of the business was that it is a contact sport, and that being in constant communications with your sellers, with your buyers that are actively looking, understanding the new inventory that is coming on the market, understanding exactly what's happening in your CRM, there's nothing sexy about it. What is sexy is that she was doing over 130 million, I think it was 165 million dollars in gross sales over the course of a year with the team. The reason she was able to do that is because she was able to do every single day the same things over and over and over again, providing massive value to her clients, and she was able to do it with enthusiasm. I didn't understand this in my business until I actually was able to be a part of this team and watch the way she operated as an example. Because what I would do when I was on my own is I would go out and for 3 or 4 days in a row, I would knock 100 doors at a time, or I would have a span, I'd go out and knock 500 doors. I would go and I would do open houses for an entire month, 2 days in a row, every single weekend. I'd generate a ton of leads. I'd have a ton of conversations. And then what I didn't do, or I didn't want to do, is come back home, go through my notes, upload the potential client contact information, the lead contact information into my CRM. I didn't want to put them on the appropriate drips. I didn't want to schedule the calls and follow up. And what ended up happening is, yes, you can go out and you can door knock 500 doors, but if it takes you 2.5 months to get the information uploaded into your CRM with the appropriate contact notes, so when you reach out to somebody and say, hey, John, how was your son's birthday party? I know that we discussed that when I actually met you the other day. How are things going? These are the things that are important. These are the things that are going to win you business, and nothing changes. Everybody in their life who you can potentially work with as a client has things that are going on inside of their life that you can connect with them about. And if you find a way to provide value, these tactics and strategies inside of conversation, appointment setting and whatnot, a lot of it doesn't change. Find a way to lead from contribution and be valuable to your clients. And that's going to come from thousands upon thousands of conversations and thousands upon thousands of times that you are inside of your CRM and uploading mundane conversations to make sure that when you circle back, you are front of mind to your potential clients. You're gonna have to do this hundreds of thousands of times inside of your career. And I'm gonna tell you, the ones that can do it with enthusiasm, with appreciation, with gratitude, and make their clients feel like you are enthusiastically coming from a place of contribution to serve them, you're the ones that are gonna win in this business over time. Boredom creates empires. The last thing I wanna leave you with is something that, with a sports background, it's something that a lot of influential leaders inside of sports, one of the things that has been a lasting impression on me my entire life. And these are things that you want to try to practice every day, but I've gone through over a decade of my life where I almost completely forgot this mentality. It is the mentality of 100% effort habit. It literally gives me goosebumps. It gives me the chills to say it because it brings me back to the good old days playing sports, but 100% effort habit. And what does that mean? It means exactly what we're talking about inside of this conversation. I don't care if you're bored. It doesn't matter if you're bored. It doesn't matter if you have 16 phone calls to make with potential clients right now, knowing that you're gonna have all very similar qualifying conversations. If you want that business, it's 100% effort habit, and you take that last phone call just like you took the first phone call that you took as a new agent when you first got your license. It's time to shine, and on 100% effort habit mentality, over time, you will build the muscle, the mental muscle of, some people call it the Mamba mindset. Kobe made it famous, but 100% effort all the time. There's no other way. There's absolutely no other way. When you're running a sprint, you don't give up before you get across the finish line. When you're running the last sprint or you have to do an extra, you don't give up 3 feet before the finish line. You break the tape, you run right through it. Then you have to take that mentality inside of your business. Boredom creates empires. 100% effort habit. And if you try to instill these tactics inside of yourself over time, and it's gonna take time for you to get to the point where your mindset is bulletproof, and nobody quite gets there, but there are some people that are absolute anomalies out there because they've just figured out a way to pound the nail to create habit enough to where now it's second nature. I'm trying to get there myself. I have some incredible mentors. They're actually all a part of the mastermind group that we are a part of with our group here at EXP. If you'd like to talk to me directly about any of our trainings or how to get in touch with some of my world-class partners or with me directly, just jump on my calendar, wolfpackagent.com. There's a lot of good information in this video. Again, pretty basic, pretty specific, but pretty basic. If you'd like to discuss any of this in more detail, comment below. Let me know what content you would like to see next, and I will talk to you here soon.